The Divine Comedy, a classic piece of fan fiction. You know what would make this good? If they took this book and made it into a video game.
Well, you see, I see where you're coming from, but first, we're gonna do this. Okay, now, gonna do acid.
How yous doing? With the success of every book, there will be a video game adaptation. Dante's Inferno, developed by Visceral Games, is one such case. You are a soldier named, believe it or not, Dante, on your way back home from the crusade and sewing a cloth in the shape of a cross onto your body. Yeah, you might be a Christian, but have you ever sewn tapestry in the shape of a cross onto you? Type of Christian? The game starts and it plays exactly like an old God of War games as an action-adventure game. An assassin stabs me in the back and death appears before me saying I have been damned to hell. So I kill death. Having cheated death, I come home to my family and learn that they have all been killed, including my wife, Beatrice, who has been damned to marry Lucifer because I broke the promise I made with her before I left on the crusade. So my mission is to go to hell and save my wife. The gameplay isn't anything special, just swarms of enemies everywhere. But you can just spam the X button and win every fight. Every once in a while, something interesting will happen, like getting to mount an Asterian beast, and they are a lot of fun to use. But most of the fighting that you do with regular enemies gets repetitive very quickly. The way hell is described in the Bible is a place where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. And they got that pretty accurate in this game. The way they did it is by having people wail and grind teeth. Constantly. Like, they don't stop. I already have voices in my head, I don't need to hear it in the game. But it's cool that they got an accurate depiction of hell. With games like these, you usually just find the combo that kills the fastest, and in this game it ended up being the grab and absolve button. Within fighting, you can absolve or punish enemies, allowing you to upgrade a specific skill tree. Aside from fighting, you also get puzzles, which are usually just moving the blocks to the right place. There are famous people throughout history hidden in the world, and you can absolve or punish them, and there are secrets hidden throughout the whole game. I enter Limbo and meet the fallen king Minos, who judges the damned and sends them to their proper circle. I am then attacked by babies who were not baptized before they died, and fun fact, when you kill one of the babies, you get an achievement called Bad Nanny. This caused the International Nanny Association, which I didn't know was a thing, to ask people to boycott the game, and they even asked the ESRB to get rid of this achievement, to which they replied,
"Oh man, we only Rickens. We don't actually,
I'm a nanny, damn you! Do something!"
Call police.
I then fight King Minos, and it's a pretty solid boss fight, and I move my way onto the Circle of Lust, which I cannot show on YouTube. I mean, there's symbolism everywhere. I am introduced to a new type of enemy, the Temptress, and they are the bane of my existence. For some reason, I had extreme difficulty countering them, and they kept dodging my attacks and draining my health. Skipping to the end, I fight Anthony and Cleopatra, and it's a difficult fight. Between Anthony's simple ability of blocking attacks and Cleopatra interfering, I needed to do more than just spam attacks. I kill them both and fall into the Circle of Gluttony, where immediately I fight Cerberus. Another difficult boss fight, but I learn about the greatest combo in the game: spamming the B button. A range attack that knocks back enemies is easily the best combo in the game. In Gluttony, I learned that I sinned just like my father, and the person who killed my wife was the husband of the girl I committed adultery with. I can't believe I committed adultery. I promised my wife, Lord, would you ever— oh hey look, a puzzle! I love puzzles! I enter the Circle of Greed, where I simply cannot make this jump, and find my father becoming the embodiment of greed. So I kill him and move on to Anger. This level wasn't special at all, as the game is starting to feel samey, until I get to ride a Flagears into the city of These Nuts. Haha, but this part's actually really boring. You don't get to ride the kaiju for very long. Beatrice officially becomes the bride of Lucifer, and I made it to Heresy, which has a cool idea of having you destroy a statue, but not much else. Going through the Wood of Suicides, I find my mother and my friend who fought in the Crusades with me. I meet up with Beatrice, who sets me out on a gauntlet of challenges which just keeps going on and on and on. They're all easy, except for the single combo challenge. I hate this challenge. I finally acknowledge all of my sins, freeing Beatrice from hell as I go to face Lucifer, whose second stage I cannot show because his wiener is out. Like just flopping around. Free as a bird. I defeat Lucifer and Dante learns that he died? Like, how did he not know? Because he died, he is destined to go to hell and not a single soul can leave hell. So I leave hell and make it to purgatory, and that's the end of the game. That wasn't an impressive game. The game was average as it got really repetitive and grossed me out. Which I guess is good because, you know, it's hell. But I didn't enjoy the constant screaming, which is truly what hell is like. So I was like, cool, they got the idea that hell is not someplace you want to go to because you're not going to be like Dante. You're going to be like one of the people in the wall wailing and grinding of teeth. It sucks that this game had an incredible story and message. It was about a guy who thought he was free from sin, but no one is ever free from their sins, and they represent that by having Dante physically wear his sins on his chest. After being told again and again about his sins and going through the 5 stages of grief, Dante learns to accept that he has sinned and receives forgiveness to free him from his sins. It is such a great story with an impactful message that your sins will always be forgiven. But the gameplay just doesn't hold up. It would be better as a movie. It really was just God of War. It even had Greek mythology in the game. Never got into the combo system since spamming B helped me win every fight because it pushed away enemies that would swarm you. I hated getting stun locked, which was easy to get into if there were 3 or more enemies. Most of the enemies were annoying to deal with, especially since there were usually multiples of them and then little minions all around them for no reason. The boss fights were all fun, but 95% of the game is just fighting the same types of enemies over and over again. I also hated the challenge run that was at the end. I just wanted to make that clear. The music wasn't really noticeable, but it did have choir music, which was cool. The main issue is that the game isn't memorable. You could show me any level in the game and I wouldn't be able to tell you which circle of hell it was.
It's gluttony! Zach, it says greed, like right there, it says greed. Zach, it says greed.
It is just that it has a good story, great cutscenes, good visuals, but a mediocre game overall. I lost interest pretty quickly thanks to the repetitive nature. So should you play this game? Well, if you like the old God of War games, then yes you should, as it's exactly like those games, it's just not for me. The bigger question is, did it accurately follow the book? I don't know, what do you think I am, literate? Oh, look at me, I'm so special, I can read at a 3rd grade level.